What's going on, guys? It's Main Event Matt, and I'm here to talk to you guys about tonight's epic SmackDown. Now, normally there's a part of the show that I want to discuss first, and it's so hard for me not to, but tonight there wasn't a bad part at all on tonight's SmackDown. So I'm just going to start from the starting right away. This was a great SmackDown. There wasn't nothing like extremely huge, but like it was a great SmackDown in general. To kick off the show, we had the advertised Miz TV segment where Miz sets up the big tournament finals for the championship at the pay per view this Sunday. He's got Kevin Owens, Alberto Del Doritos, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose all as guests on the show tonight. And then he's hyping up how Miz TV is going to be so awesome tonight because it's going to be very uh, action packed, if you want to put it that way. And then he's about to announce the first competitor, and then all of a sudden he's cut off by this. Out comes Kevin Owens after he cuts off The Miz, and he basically just sits there, talks to The Miz about how this is going to be a great show and blah, blah, blah. And Kevin Owens, he says he's walking out the champion. He's going to be your Intercontinental and WWE champion. And then The Miz is like, well, I think there's someone that won't agree with you. And then all of a sudden he's cut off again. Alberto Del Doritos comes out with Zeb Coulter on the stupid cart thing. The stupid shopping cart. Yeah, there we go. The stupid electrical scooter. Out comes Zeb Coulter and Alberto Del Doritos, and he still doesn't have his bag of Doritos yet. You need to be sponsoring Doritos. They need to do something with you, and you're boring as shit, so make you sponsor Doritos. But nonetheless, Alberto Del Rio comes out, and he basically talks about how he's going to win the championship for Mex America, and blah, blah, blah. And then he's cut off by Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose runs down there, and Miz starts yelling at him. He's like, what are you doing, Dean? Don't you understand? They were about to fight, and fighting equals ratings. And then Dean's like, no, I understand you, Miz. I understand you. I actually respect your show, and I want to be on your show. Well, we all know that's BS, but then he keeps going on, and he's like, Miz, so let me handle this. Now sit down and shut up. And then Dean Ambrose starts talking about how he's going to win this because Kevin Owens can put up a fight, but it doesn't matter because Dean Ambrose can take a punch. He can take a hit. He's the one that can take the most abuse in WWE. And something about Alberto, too, being the leader of Mexican America, and he was going to cut it in half or something like that. And then all of a sudden, Miz is cut off again. But while Roman Reigns comes out and he comes down to the ring and he basically says that at the show he's going to win and the Miz needs to shut up and quit getting so angry at him because what normally goes down on Miz TV is he runs his mouth like usual till people get mad at him like usual and then people punch him in the face like usual and he just kept going on and then Miz finally shut up and then Miz was whining and complaining again because they're taking over his show, blah, blah, blah. And this is after the best part ever. R-Truth comes out there. They hit R-Truth's music. R-Truth walks down to the ring. He cuts a promo about how he's the ultimate underdog. And this Sunday, he's going to win the championship and he's going to become your new WWE champion. And then Miz just looks at him funny. He's like, Truth, you're not even in the tournament. The tournament's been going on for 2 weeks. You haven't even had a match. So then Truth looks to the back. He's like, oh, but they told me to come out. Oh, man. Shit, well, University of Tennessee, my bad. And he just walks off to the back. Greatest thing ever. R-Truth made this segment 10 times better. But then Miz continues on. And he's like, you guys are messing up my Miz TV, blah, blah, blah. That I should be talking about how it's going to be champion versus champion or friend versus friend this Sunday, and then ratings will go through the roof at the pay-per-view because of my show. And then Roman Reigns asks Miz, okay, what's that one word that they use to start filming or start recording on the set? And then he's like, oh, that would be action. And that's what Roman said. And then Miz was like, no, you're not even saying it right, man. It's action. And right when he did that, Dean Ambrose just socks him in the face. And that's how they end that segment. So, of course, Miz has to get knocked out on Miz TV just like usual. Doesn't he always get his ass kicked on Miz TV? I mean, that's pretty much what's supposed to happen, right? Because no one likes The Miz. So then after that, when we come back from commercial break, Miz is whining, complaining, saying he has a match right after that. And he demands that they cancel his match due to him being injured. Or hurt or something like that, or he's not ready to compete. He said something like that. But that was hilarious because then Cesaro's music hits and out comes the Swiss Superman. This match lasted maybe, 1-2 minutes before Cesaro locks him in the crossface out of nowhere and gets him to tap out. So Cesaro wins this match via crossface within like 2 minutes into the match. So that match was over quick. Miz is now a jobber for sure. But then Cesaro's cut off. Once again, we have more interruptions. Cesaro is cut off in the middle of him walking up the ring, walking up the stage celebrating by Stardust in the Cosmic Wasteland, the Ascension. And they walk down there. They're getting ready for six-man tag action. Stardust goes down the barricade. I just want to say this because this was funny. Stardust gets up on the barricade and he does the Bullet Club pose. Like AJ Styles does. He just throws up the Bullet Club pose. Not only that, but Cesaro's up on the ramp. Cesaro does a cartwheel and then does the Stardust thing and then hisses after it. And then proceeds to do the suck it taunt. So first people are interrupting people. Now they're just stealing other wrestlers' taunts, I guess. Put it that way. That was great, but they end up facing who'd they face? They faced Neville and the Dudley Boys. And this match was pretty good. I was interested in it. Neville was flying all over the place. They did this one spot at the start of the match where I think it was Victor pushed down the ropes and Neville like done a barrel roll outside the ropes when he tried to bounce off him, and that looked like it hurt. At least Neville was able to tuck his head, but that looked like that hurt bad. But later in the match, it ends up all breaking down. The bad part of the match was Bubba Ray freaking botched like 2 moves. I don't know exactly how many he botched, but they're getting old, so I can understand that. But still, that tore it down a little. But towards the end, they hit the "What's Up," of course, and then Devon went outside to get the tables. And when he did, Stardust snuck in the ring behind Bubba and jumped up on the ropes and hit the disaster kick. Then knocked Dudley down. And I actually thought Stardust was about ready to pick up the win. But no, not so fast. Neville comes in, cleans house, takes out Stardust and the Ascension, flies all over the place, takes them all out, and then the Dudleys set Stardust up for the 3D, which they botched, by the way. Bubba just barely caught him on the way down. Like that was bad. That would have looked terrible if they fully messed that up. But that was a good match besides the 2 botches in the match. I'm not going to complain too much. It's the Dudley Boys. You can't give them too much heat. But moving on after that, we had my favorite match of the night, what I thought was going to be my favorite match of the night. Tyler Breeze taking on the Long Island IZ, woo woo woo, Zack Ryder. But this match lasted about a full 3 minutes. Zack Ryder ended up jobbing to Tyler Breeze. The best thing about this match, though, was the promo beforehand. Tyler Breeze was talking about how Summer Rae had to upgrade. Zack Ryder was his style of clothing was 1980 never. And then he talked about how WWE wanted something gorgeous. And then Summer Rae said, yep, and we all know Tyler Breeze and Summer are winners, and Dolph Ziggler always comes up just too short. For those of you who don't understand, Summer Rae just said Dolph Ziggler had a tiny dick. But that's not very PG, but I guess they can insinuate that. They didn't actually say it, so. I mean, she would know, right? She walked in on him when he was in the shower, right? So, I mean, She would know even if they. Never mind. Okay, the whole time this match is going on, Dolph Ziggler's over in the VIP section drinking their drinks. And Summer Rae went over there and you started yelling at him, "You're not VIP!" And he just chucks the drink across the floor. Nice, Dolph. Now the janitors have to clean that up, you jackass. But nonetheless, Zack Ryder gets a quick roll-up pin there. 1, 2. Tyler Breeze kicks out. Then Tyler Breeze ends up hitting the kill switch, which I don't know what he's doing with that now. I don't know if he has 2 finishers now, the beauty shot and the kill switch or something. But I thought Zack Ryder was going to kick out of it. I didn't think he was actually going to get him with it, but he got him with it. So, yeah, Zack Ryder lost to Tyler Breeze. Then after the match, Dolph Ziggler went outside the ring and did a nasty freaking super kick to Tyler Breeze. It was freaking awesome. I hate Dolph Ziggler, but he throws a good super kick, so that was awesome to watch. And then Dolph just walked off. I was hoping like Zack Ryder went out there and like hit him with the Rough Rider or something afterwards. Or the broski boot up against the steps. Woo, woo, woo. But no, nothing happened. So moving on after that, we have the Bray Wyatt segment, which was possibly the most entertaining part of the night. Bray Wyatt has Undertaker's Druids come down. He's got the smoke up and everything like his Undertaker's entrance. But the Druids are wearing the sheet masks. And they come down there, and then they're met by the Wyatt family coming down behind them. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Bray Wyatt comes down from behind, and they basically start cutting a promo, and Bray Wyatt's asking the universe, which 2 members of my family am I gonna select to fight the Brothers of Destruction? Because you see, although the Brothers of Destruction may be back, I still have part of them inside me. That sounds weird. You have part of them inside you. Okay, moving on. Bray Wyatt basically hypes up if it could be any of those 3. And then he doesn't mention himself, though. So does that mean for sure Bray Wyatt's not going to be fighting? I guess it does. I mean, that could prolong the feud then at least. Because this feud's actually pretty entertaining. And then Braun Strowman cuts a promo about how he's dreamed of destroying legacies. And the Brothers of Destruction are monuments of, what did he say? The century or something like that. And I will destroy them in the name of Bray Wyatt. And he just goes on, blah, blah, blah. Then he's cut off by the gong. And then the Undertaker pops up on the Titantron. And him and Kane cut a promo. Undertaker's talking about how you may think you have all the cards in your hand, but in reality, all you have is the dead man's hand. That was a pretty good play of words there, I'm not going to lie. And then after that, Kane pops up on the screen, and he's like, blah, 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 they all fall down. And he's freaking holding a sheep mask on fire, which I thought was freaking sick. And then it pans back to the crowd, back to the Wyatts after Undertaker says rest in peace, of course, and Kane hits the pyro. And the freaking Druids with the sheep masks are like on the ground like they just died. So like Undertaker and Kane just freaking killed the Druids. That was freaking awesome. And then Bray Wyatt's down in the ring laughing that crazy evil laugh that he does. They're just setting this up great. I mean, if I'm disappointed during this match, I'm going to be pissed. Because they're setting up this feud really great. That was really cool. I thought that was awesome when they acted like Undertaker and Kane killed the Druids and they're just laying there. And the whole crowd the whole time is chanting rest in peace, which I loved that segment. That was the best segment of the night. Moving on after that, we had a nice match with Charlotte taking on Brie Bella, and Charlotte came out with some Dudley Boys trunks on. She's got the black and white camo. Yeah, she moved to Dudleyville. Yeah. But Nonetheless, this was a decent match. Brie Bella didn't do half bad for once. Charlotte did a cool jumping like thing where she dove through the ropes into the ring when she was on the apron and rolled her up, and she got a 2 count off of that. Then Brie went for the stupid yes kicks, and Charlotte ended up ducking, rolling her up. She got a 2 count again, and Brie ends up going for the Bella Buster. Charlotte shoves her off, hits the spear, and then locks her in the figure eight, gets her to tap out. Wasn't nothing big in this match, but it was nice and short, which made it not suck, if you get what I'm trying to say. Then after that, we had Paige backstage in an interview, and what did she even say? Something like Renee Young's terrible at being an interviewer. She should just quit. And this Sunday, she's going to make Charlotte something. She's going to beat her for the belt. It was something to that degree. I don't really remember exactly, but it was something to that degree. Moving on after that, we had New Day come out. Oh, don't you dare be sour. Clap for your world famous 2-time champs and feel the power. They come out there complaining about how they were not put in the WWE Championship tournament, which I completely agree. New Day rocks, and apparently WWE Creative does not understand that, and they did not put them in the tournament. But then they basically go on to diss Ryback and Kalisto, or Kalisto, and they pull out Kalisto's mask and put it on. He's like, hey, that's Kalisto because he's a luchador. Lucha means wrestling in Spanish. Or something like that. They said something like that. I think they actually said lucha means mask, but really it means wrestling. So maybe they need to go back and learn their Spanish all over again. But it was pretty funny. And then Big E after that says, I'm gonna teach you Kalisto why size matter. And then he starts doing that thing to where like he thrusts his hips, which I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of weird. We will get to that. Kalisto comes out there. He beats shit out of Big E for like the first 5 minutes. Big E doesn't even hit a move. Okay, now this match was just ridiculous because Big E doesn't even hit a move. Xavier Woods gets up on the apron. Sin Cara comes, pulls him off. Kofi Kingston drives Sin Cara into the steps. Sin Cara's out the whole rest of the time because he's a jobber now. So Kalisto's a main eventer. He's an upper mid carder now, and Sin Cara's the jobber, right? So Sin Cara gets thrown into the steps, and he's taken out. Then Kalisto goes ahead and takes out all 3 members of the New Day. Then Xavier Woods gets back up on the apron again and distracts. And when he does, Kalisto finally turns around, gets hit with a clothesline from Big E. Then Big E does the splash, pins him 1, 2, 3. It's over. Big E wins with the splash. So, at the same time, Kalisto completely kicked Big E's ass the whole first 5, 6 minutes of the match. And then after that, Big E beats Kalisto off of one move that isn't even a finisher. That makes complete sense. Then after that, the weirdest shit ever. Big E and the New Day all get in the ring. And Xavier Woods and Kofi hold Kalisto down by his feet and hands. He's down there on the ground squirming, screaming no. And Big E's up there freaking thrusting. Oh, God. With the scene right there, I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought this show was about ready to turn from PG to, like, unrated or something. It's like Big E was about ready to rape Kalisto or something. Just up there thrusting like, oh, God. Oh, I'm going to have to change the channel. But no, Big E hits him with a big splash again, and they just walk off, so... No, but of course they had to play their trombone first. Doom, 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 doom. Because New Day rocks. New Day rocks. With the power of the unicorn magic, nothing is impossible. Including Big E raping Kalisto on national television. Thank God that didn't happen. Thank God for the unicorn magic. But moving on after that, we had an Ambrose and Reigns promo backstage, and they cut a good promo. They're talking about how Kevin Owens is going to get I mean, Alberto's going to get his country split in half with one Superman punch, and Kevin Owens is going to get his face rearranged with 30 deeds, and blah, 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 etc. And then Roman's talking about how, what if it comes down to them two? That he's going to have to treat Dean just like he's treated everyone else in the tournament so far. Dean says, I expect nothing less, and you shouldn't expect anything less from me. That was a good promo. I like that. I don't know what's going to happen at the pay-per-view. I don't know if Dean's going to turn on Roman. Roman's going to turn on Dean. Fucker in the Bank's going to come down, cash in. Are you not entertained, fella? But it doesn't matter because that's not now. Now is time for the main event. We've got Kevin Owens with Alberto Del Doritos taking on Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. Now, this was an average tag team match. Nothing big here. But, I mean, it's Ambrose and Reigns, so of course it was a good tag team match. But it ends up ending with, like, it's just complete chaos on the outside. Dean Ambrose clotheslines Alberto Del Rio over the freaking announcer's table. Kevin Owens is about ready to pop up powerbomb Dean Ambrose onto the apron. Then Roman Reigns runs, jumps off the steps, Superman punch, knocks him out. This is all after they got counted out. Like, this match ended in a double count out, I think. That's what it seemed like. But whatever, it's double count out ending, so that wasn't too bad. At least it wasn't like a DQ like it is usually. And then so Alberto's taken out. Then Kevin Owens gets in the ring. Alberto gets in the ring. Somehow he got control again over Ambrose. I can't remember exactly how, but he's in the ring. See. Am I gonna hit it? No C. Alberto goes for that. Dean Ambrose counters into the Dirty Deeds, takes out Alberto. Then Kevin Owens gets in the ring. He's about ready to pop up powerbomb Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose jumps over Kevin Owens' head on the rebound, and when he does, Kevin Owens turns around into a spear from Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns hits the spear on Kevin Owens. The show ends with Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens standing in the ring. Then they go Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns standing in the ring. Then they go to the outside, and they're both staring down at each other with the belt. And that's how the show ends. So, like I said, great freaking SmackDown. There was not a bad segment on this SmackDown. If you haven't watched it yet, go back and watch it. But I got to go watch Haven now. So this is the end of my review. This was a nice long review, 22-minute review. So thanks for staying till the end if you did. And, of course, stay tuned for next week's SmackDown review.